Here he is, Robert Jenrick.
The Conservative Party needed to change fundamentally, starting by acknowledging the state of Britain and owning up to the role we played. I respect Kenny, but on all those issues, we were in different places.
Robert Jenrick, you've talked about the Tory party being responsible for breaking Britain. What was the biggest mistake they made in those years in power then?
No, I think the country's a mess at the moment. Most people would agree. There's so many challenges facing us. The most prominent to me is immigration. Look, the Conservative Party time and again promised that it was going to bring down legal migration. That was at the heart of the Brexit referendum. In 2019, it was elected explicitly on a manifesto pledge to bring it right down and make good on those promises. But within weeks of that, you had the party putting together a plan which saw the complete opposite happen. Millions of people came into the country in a very short period of time, mostly low-wage, low-skilled people who are going to cost hard-working Brits money. It means that the wages of people are being undercut, like the people I represent who work in distribution centres or food processing factories. It means that young people won't be able to get on the housing ladder. It means that you're going to find the kind of community cohesion, the identity, the unity that we want to have as a country undermined for years to come, because you just can't integrate so many people in such a short period of time. It was a total disaster. And even when it was blaringly obvious that that was the case, it was still very hard to persuade people to do anything about it. I went to the Prime Minister at the time, Rishi Sunak, along with Suella Braverman, and begged him to take action. And it was only when I threatened to resign that he eventually did it, because most people in the Tory party basically were content to say, let's bring in people from overseas so that we can keep wages low, bring down inflation. They didn't understand both how important this is to people and how immensely corrosive it was to trust that the party had said one thing and done precisely the opposite.
So that kind of Boris wave, as it's known, of high migration that happened in the aftermath of the Brexit vote, that's what broke Britain and broke the Tory party.
I think that's the most obvious example of the Tory party just totally disregarding the views of people who voted for it in the country. But also we've ended up with living standards at such a low level right now. Most people feel poor in the country at the moment. Their incomes aren't rising, the bills are going up, energy bills, food prices, you name it. Life is tough for people. Why is that? Well, yeah, we've had these big events like COVID and the war in Ukraine, but it's also we had a mad energy policy that the Tory party doubled down on, that's impoverished people. It's meant that our industries are going, like steel and cars and glass and chemicals. We've got to change these things. You've got to make sure that we can bring people's living standards up. And that's what I want to see. And I don't think the Tory party has a record, a plan, any idea how to do that.
You talked about how the Conservative Party just don't get it. They're not learning from their mistakes. And I understand that you think that they've sort of given up on some voters in the North and the Midlands, these working class voters. Is that your analysis? Are they just kind of going back to their safe space of the affluent blue wall?
I'm afraid so, yes. The most senior people in the Tory party had a meeting the other day. And at that, the Tory party's slogan was, Conservatives believe Britain is not broken. Or try telling that to people out on the streets. Most people I speak to, certainly the people I represent, in a small town in North Nottinghamshire, they think that Britain is broken. They don't think it's broken beyond repair, but they think it's a mess at the moment and life is very tough. And the Tory party is almost saying, we're not going to be the party of working people, of towns like Newark or Wolverhampton, where I grew up. We're just going to retreat to represent people who are so affluent that they're completely insulated from all the troubles of the world. Politics is becoming Reform's Workers' Party versus the posh party. And I know which side of that debate I want to be on. I want to be with my constituents in Newark and make sure their lives get better.